It's empty?
Sir? Oh.
I was asking him, was the coffee pot
Oh,
empty?
okay.
Yeah, and put your gas out too.
I'm sorry, you know I don't hear well. You won't believe what I thought you said.
Don't do that.
I think.
Trying to figure out that picture size muscle. Like you know, practice.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about exercise and stuff this morning.
Like, send me a text. Okay, yeah, I will. You just need this. I don't need my dad's number. Just need his number. My phone is cut off at the moment, but yeah, I'll as soon as I get it back on, I'll shoot you a text. Yeah. And then yes. Not them two. They grab the two leg. They just say, like, you gonna stand there. Get mad. Nobody listens to the rock. You good, though? You get done with that bottle? Can I have it? Okay. Appreciate it. Water, anyway. Thursday, Thursday. No, Thursday. Today's the first. That's good, God.
All right, gentlemen. Appreciate y'all being here, being on time. I'm a tiny bit behind the curve this morning. I do apologize for that. No excuse at all. I have a little tummy issue this morning. Not feeling all that good. So, no excuse. That's just letting you know why I'm a little tiny bit late. We may quit a little early. All that stuff. It's going to be a good day today. So make sure you sign on your sign-in sheets. And over at North, do your best to get that stuff in the box over there. I have a issue finding them sometimes. We've got a weird thing on the board over here. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Our goal for the group today is learn a little bit about the effects of physical activity on my recovery and some things like that. Today, if we have our books with us, then we did the right thing. Brought it to the group with us. And we're moving through these stages. We just want to talk about them a little bit. When we start off with no work on ourselves at all, no exercise or anything like that. Usually we're in a poor condition. We're moving forward. We get to a place where we're contemplating it. That means we're thinking about doing something. Doesn't necessarily mean we're doing anything, but we're thinking about it. And when we get to that place of thinking about it, that's not a bad thing to do. Then we move over the next stage is we're going to have to prepare to do something. That also doesn't mean we're doing anything. That just means we're preparing, getting a block of time set out. At this block of time, I'm going to do something. Just to have that on my schedule. That's what I do on that day. I've changed my schedule a little bit. I work out 3 times a week. I was going. Man, thanks, sir.
I wish I had that much energy right now.
You wish what?
I wish I had that much energy right now.
Yeah. I really don't have that. Not this morning. My stomach's a little messed up, but I don't know what's going on in there, but I know it's loud. Yeah. So at this place, when you're preparing for it, getting deciding what you're going to do, and look, it doesn't have to be a regimented thing. If I can just come up with something that I like, something that's fun, something that's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a little bit of a strain on my system, and I can go and do that. So I'm preparing for it here on Wednesday. It says you've actively thought about improving your physical health. It's a really, really important thing for us to improve our physical health. You have developed or you have begun to develop a plan toward improving your physical health. Now, let me tell you something about developing a plan. Does that mean that I sit down and write that plan out and I have dates and times and people who are going to help me do it and all of that kind of stuff lined out on that plan?
I mean, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, that's one way to do it, and that's a really good way to do it. And that, that gives you something to go by and helps you out. When I go to the gym, I see some of those guys they have that thing lined out, and they're going by their program, and they're doing all of that. I see a couple others, a lady over there that had it on her on the telephone, and she's got the YouTube guy that's showing her how to do what she wants to do. So she's doing all of that, and that's marvelous. It's wonderful to do it that way. But look, when we first start thinking about it, we can start thinking about it. We can start just getting it in our mind. What am I going to do? Does that work? It does to some extent. It also usually, if I can think about it and get, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to get done and I need to do it because I need to build my wind. I want to grow my muscles a little bit. I want to do this. I want to get rid of some fat. I want to grow some more weight. I need to get a little bit heavier. I see a lot of guys in the gym trying to get bigger, because they're kind of small and all of that kind of stuff. Whatever my goals are, it's better if I can write them down, because as I have them in my mind, they're going to slip. It's going to slip. If I get it all figured out in here, and it's not going to stay as well. It works, but it's not going to stay as well as if I have it on a piece of paper somewhere, right? So our goal for today, we've been looking at some of the stuff that we have to. We talked about HIV and all of that kind of stuff yesterday. We didn't finish all of the HIV, and there's we talked about hepatitis A. There's 4 other different types of hepatitis. There's B, C, D, and E hepatitis. But we didn't go through those. We will at another time, because I tell you, we weren't through, but I was through. I had all of that I wanted yesterday, but we will get back to that at some point in time. And your counselor should be putting you a certificate in for having gone through that program. So everybody has to have a certificate. You may not get the certificate, but it'll be in your file. They're going to upload that. However, if you want a certificate, tell them. Tell your counselor you want a certificate, and I'm going to instruct them to give you if you want the certificate, it's yours. You should be able to get it. So we're going to be talking a little bit, and this is not something that you don't know. Now, this is the little board up here, and I know that the guys over at North, you can't see it very well, but I'm going to explain it to you. Now, if you'll notice, there's one side of this fella, he has this great big old arm, and it wasn't done well because we have what's called a huddle every morning where the staff all get together and talk about the day and what happened last night and all of that kind of stuff and what we're going to do about it. So I was kind of pushed for time, so y'all excuse the nastiness of the drawing. But on one side, he has this big old huge arm, right? He looks like some of you guys, bodybuilder up to the 10th and all of that kind of stuff. But on the other side, there's nothing. I mean, he's just skinny as a rail. Looks like he's just been using drugs his whole life and all of that kind of stuff. What do you think that indicates?
He's not taking care of himself.
Not taking care of that side. So on this side, what the board is showing us that on this side, if we go the healthy route, if we go the physical activity route, if we get off of drugs, then we're going to be able to be healthy, whole, and in good shape, right? The better you feel and the better shape you're in, the more likely it is that you're going to stay in recovery. How many people feel like they're in recovery? All right. How many people know that's not true for a bunch of them? If you're still using drugs, if you're using this, if you're thinking about them, if you're planning them, then you're on this side. This guy over here, look, he's still at a place where, look, what's that BOD? What does that mean? No idea? Come on. No idea?
Bag of drugs.
Bag of drugs. Look at that brilliant. Look at that brilliant guy. See, that's those of us who always had a bag of drugs. We know what a bag of drugs is, right? So this is the bag of drugs over here, and this is what the bag of drugs does to you. You know, skinny to real, ain't got nothing. You don't have any health at all. Your physical health is in the body. You know, and so look, it's a distinctive choice, and we get to make it because drugs are going to keep you like this. Can you build muscle when you use drugs?
Nope.
Not as well. I'll tell you what, a lot of those bodybuilders use a lot of drugs. A lot of them, if you look them up and you'll follow them and check them out, a lot of those guys die in their 30s and 40s. There's one of the great bodybuilder back in the 80s. Now he's in a wheelchair. He used a lot of drugs to get to be that big. He's a contemporary, I can't think of his name, but he's a contemporary with Arnold Schwarzenegger. They worked out together and all of that kind of stuff, and he blew his back out, but instead of stopping, and taking a break, he was using steroids and several other things to keep him going, and he just kept going because he didn't worry about his back being in such pain, and so he messed himself up so badly that now he can't walk. I mean, he can get up and move, but he has to have 2 or 3 people help him get out of the wheelchair and walk and move to a chair. So he's in really bad shape, and still goes to the gym, still works out. Yes, he's a black guy. And
Johnny something.
What is it?
His first name is Johnny. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Great. He was a Mr. Olympia. So he was a, you don't become Mr. Olympia without being fantastic. He's really good. So anyway, physical activity is good for us on a whole bunch of different levels. And so we're going to talk about, what physical activity actually does for us. And we need to be involved in some physical activity. I was in the boss's office here earlier this morning talking to him, and I'm not going to tell you who it was, but I saw one of our members walking around the parking lot. Walking around. Is that good for you?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you can get out there and walk a little bit, man, that's going to help you so much. Now, if you look, you don't have to go to the gym. I wish we had a better gym here. We ought to have a gym somewhere that we can go to, the ladies can go to, and everybody can go in there and just work out, have a good gym. We ought to have one at each facility. We have a few little chunks of iron around here, but we're not where we need to be. We need to get to a place where we have that. When we were over at Avenue A, we had a couple of really, benches that were not real benches, and we had some other stuff. But we need to get better at that so that we can do that. But look, you don't have to have a fully decked out gym. You can get up in the morning and do a push-up. You can do a push-up, a leaning push-up when you're on your bed. You can turn around and do it the other way. And there's all sorts of things you can do, yes? Where you go? We need to have you here. You need to, we don't like you leaving, but be careful out there. All right. So we're going to look at the effects of physical activity on our whole body. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got a question? All right. How does physical activity help your brain?
Helps you be more alert, more responsive.
Helps you be more alert. Helps you be more responsive. Those are good things. You have to take your brain out, pull it out your left ear. It doesn't go out your right ear. It goes out your left ear. Put it on the table and then make it jump up and down. No, that's not how it does. You exercise your body, and that causes your heart rate to go up and come down. And so that's going to help with your blood pressure and help with all of those other things that we're having issues with. Now, when we're talking about our brain, exercise of any level has a calming effect on your brain. It'll calm your your brain down. It'll calm all the activity and stuff that's going on in your brain. Just a little bit of exercise, which it opens up your brain a little bit and it allows the endorphins to flow in your brain, makes you feel a little bit better, and it lets that go. It just kind of calms down your brain a little bit. It also helps us to recover from stress more quickly. Anybody here have any stress in their life?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, here the last 2 or 3 days have been pretty stressful for me. Stress is okay. Stress is a normal part of life as long as stress doesn't get to a place of distress, right? Unless it doesn't get to the place where you can't handle that. So, if we exercise, and if you do it on a regular basis, it's going to help you with the stress that gets in your life. Why does it do that?
It's because exercising allows you to take out that frustration.
Oh, well, that's good, yeah.
That anger,
right.
That pent up testosterone,
Yeah.
You work out, it's like a way to be able to relieve all that.
Yeah. So he was saying that exercise helps you to get all of those frustrations out and all of that kind of stuff, and that's part of what your brain does when it's dealing with the stress. Again, your brain, when you're dealing with it, stress and stuff like that, when you exercise, your body lets your brain release those endorphins, which are your body's own natural opiates, which allow you to feel good. When you go over to the gym and you watch those guys when they come in, and the ladies, when they come in, they can be coming in like this, but they're going out with their head a little bit higher and their body a little bit straighter, and they're coming out of there doing some, they have those endorphins have released, and they're doing better. They're feeling better about themselves. So it releases some of that stress. It makes us feel a little bit better about things. And so it helps us to have more energy. So, how many people need more energy? Somebody said this morning they were not all that energetic. I don't feel this morning I'm not feeling all that energetic. A little bit of stress and my stomach is not feeling all that well. But if I can get past the point where my stomach's not feeling all that well, I'm gonna go work out. It's my day. So I'm gonna go do that at lunchtime, and I'm certain that's gonna give me a little bit more energy because I only have an hour, and you have to go and get dressed and then get undressed, and then so it takes you a little bit of time to get all of that done. But you will have more energy if you work out. That's kind of almost oxymoronic in the way that it's presented, because I've got to go expend energy in order to have energy. Just sometimes, it's counter to what it looks like, right, or what it says. Because if I don't expend the energy, what happens? I get less energy and less energy, and I get less able to expend energy because I don't have any energy. But if I go and expend the energy to get over there and lift a few weights, run around, get on one of those machines that you can walk on, treadmill, and all that kind of stuff, then I build up the energy reserves, and I have more energy because I have expended some energy. So it gives, and I think you said this already, it gives us a more alertness. When I'm exercising and stuff like that, the fact that the neurotransmitters in my brain are operating on a higher level, they're moving from place to place a little bit quicker and a little bit better, they give me more of an alertness about what's going on around me, right? I can see that things are what things are. I'm more alert about things. I can pay better attention. I have folks that come to groups sometimes and they don't pay any attention. You guys do fairly well. But we don't, I see people pay no attention at all. And then we have people who come to group, and that's where they get their best sleeping time in. They come to group and they go to sleep. So one of the biggest reasons they do that is because they don't do anything. They have they have very low energy levels, very low alertness levels, because they don't do anything. They're not forcing their body to get beyond the limits of just sitting. You know, and look, technology has helped us to do that, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep, because you know there's a clicker now, and I remember when I was younger and my kids were coming up, I would make them either I would do it or I would make them go and change the channel on the television. We only had 3 channels, but I'd make them go and change the channel. And I was doing a group one time, and I did exercise and all that. And I told the guys, look, at the very least, get up and go change the channel on your television without using your remote. And one of the guys was smarter than I was, and he said, you can't do that. The only way you can change the television channel on most of the televisions nowadays with the remote. Ain't no way to change the channel on the television. You go up there, there's no way to turn it on, turn it off, change the channel.
Most on the side.
There's nothing on the sides. I've looked all, there's nothing.
Most TVs nowadays, yeah, they don't even have a power button on.
There's no power. We've got a smart, big TV like that. There's no place to turn that thing on. There's no place on the sides, on the back, on it. Now we have one on our children's room. You go in there, it's a little bit older television. It's just like what you were talking about. There's a place on the back where you can change channels and all of that. It's a flat screen TV. But, you know, the one that I have in my home, you can't turn it off. You can't turn it on. There's no buttons on it at all. Way back in the back, there's a little bitty hole back there that if you take like a pin and stick, it's got a reset button in there. And you can push that reset button and, you know, it'll reset something other, right? I mean, something other gets resetted. But other than that, it'll have that. So that, you can't get that exercise anymore. I went through that whole thing to say that you can't get that. But you can get up and move. You can get up and walk around and go do, you know, you can do something. We need to figure out how to do something. So, whatever we do, it's going to be helpful to keep us moving. It's also going to give you, make it possible for you to have a little bit better sleep. You're going to sleep better if you exercise. Not because you've tired yourself completely, totally out, but because you have raised your heart level and you've done some other things that gets you to the place where the melatonin that is supposed to be released, the melatonin releases in your body 30 to 15 minutes before you get ready to go to bed. I go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. So about 7:30, I begin to feel like, okay, you know, I need to go put my jammies on because it's time for me to go to bed. Because God put that in you, and that melatonin is going to get started in you about 30 minutes, 15 minutes before you're going to bed. And if you're exercising, it allows for that melatonin to come into your body easier. Yes?
Have you ever heard of an incident or whatever where melatonin keeps you awake?
You know, and I have not. I don't know about that. I do know that people who have issues with sleeping. He asked if melatonin at some way could keep you awake. I am against over medicating yourself with anything. Melatonin is a natural drug that your body produces. Okay, some people don't. Their bodies don't produce that well. Those are usually people who are not exercising much at all. Your body just doesn't produce a lot of melatonin. We had a little deal that we did with Sleep Clinic, and that's one of the big things was we can use some melatonin, but you don't want to overuse the melatonin. Why is that?
Because you won't produce as much.
I don't. Yeah, your body.
The more you use it as far as like a pill or a gummy version, the less of it your body should produce.
Exactly. If we use a lot of that drug that our body produces, our body's going to see that as an overstimulation, and the body will not produce as much. And so if you use a lot of melatonin, your body's going to quit manufacturing melatonin. So we don't want to do that. Just like vitamins, however, if you use, I take a vitamin every day. I take one of those Centrum for old men vitamins, you know. But if you overtake the vitamins, what happens to the vitamins?
It just doesn't get used.
They don't get used. You pee them out. They defecate them out. They're going to, you know, whatever's left over, your body's going to take, this is what I need, and your body's going to get rid of the rest of it. The same thing with melatonin. Your body's going to say, okay, my melatonin jug is full, so the rest of it I'm going to tinkle out, or I'm going to defecate out. I'm going to get all of that done. And I'm thinking if your body held on to it and didn't get rid of it that way, then something like you were talking about being detrimental to your sleep could happen if you got way too much of it in your system.
Because see, I have a really hard time going to sleep at night. And I used to be able to take, or I used to take melatonin, just little 3 milligram tablets, or like 5 milligram tablets.
Right.
And believe it or not, it kept me awake. Like I had a much harder time going to sleep taking melatonin than I did not taking melatonin. And because it's weird. It gives my body just like a weird, alert, jerky feeling. It's just weird, but yeah, melatonin keeps me awake.
Don't take it.
Yeah, I don't take it no more, but I mean back in the day I used to, but it for some odd reason it keeps me awake.
Yeah, I have, and this is it does kind of play into this, but we have. I have a lot of people come and talk to me about not being able to sleep. I can't sleep. I can't cut my brain off. My brain races all the time. I can't calm down. I can't go to sleep, and all of those things. We can help you. I have ways to help people go to sleep and get a good night's sleep. I have to let people know that you're not. You are not unique in that. Everybody's mind is like that. Your mind is always going to be going. It's never going to stop. It's going to be going. If your brain stopped, what would happen? You would just fall over because your brain. Yeah, your brain. Mark, you want to see what he's. Ladies, y'all. Excuse me for a moment.
Yeah. Byron, take me to the store to get some cigarettes. I'm gonna go outside. Let me know what it's doing. Right. Oh. Can't be having that here, man. Fucking everything up. Sure. You hear that? For real? Yeah. No joke. No, well. But hey. At least you don't have to give them an eviction notice. Crashing out. Oh yeah, I'm crashing. So thank you, son. This morning he was on his knees on the
All right, we're going to take a 15-minute break early. So y'all go, it's 10:30. See everybody coming back about 15 till, and we'll start over again.
Yeah. That's the time. That's why I just that one.
We may still have some kids,
He got to.
some kids around here. Yes. Just handing over there.
All that.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll, let you know.
I always find it online. But if you just call 911 and tell them that you need to be transferred to the non-emergency, they'll do that. Yes. Uh, 46. What's the address here? 4655. 4655 College Street. Well, I need a non-emergency.
Very good. What's going on? What you think? I've been talking to my
4655 College. The Franklin House North. Franklin House South, I'm sorry. The Franklin House South. It's on College Street. No, well, we got a plan. That was what is this? No, I think it's on. I yes. But 4983275. No, hold on, that's my number. I'm sorry. 498383946. Uh, put this thing on. Like trash.
What trash bag?
Can I use the restroom over here?
No, I just go use another one.
Alright.
Alright, good. Alright, all you're gonna do is say I'm alright. That's right. You still on there, but you go get some. Oh, well. That ain't gonna happen. You two throwing around.
Fuck that shit. I will walk the fuck out of here in a heartbeat. I'm not. No, I'm not dealing with that fucking shit.
I don't know one thing, dog. Joe the motherfucking face. That's all I know. Going right on your back. Deal with it out I think he came through. I don't know where, but he's not back there. He reported. I told him I hope it's mental, it's not drug. Shit, no problem. Oh, yeah. Huh? I said, yeah, this is help them. It's up there, man. Just up there. I see that. I seen that from the door. What are you doing for? Eating orange. I saw that shit. Okay.
Yeah, my blood pressure 70, 171 on. So
We'll bring you some tomorrow. We'll bring you some hibiscus. I got the tea pack. Yeah. I know you're not gonna take it. You should try to take it. I'm telling you. Cause your money very much regard. Well, you know the way they call it. Fuck this like person. You drink the milk? Huh? You drink the milk? Yeah. He coming down with it. From that water. Oh, that's what it is? I mean, from the land of the water. Yeah, I know. Yeah. They could have handled this yesterday. Shoot.
Oh, what's this there?
No, they're right here. And they should have. Where was that? That one right here. I come down. Get in the middle. So last night, he already hot road on.
I'm gonna get this better crazy. We have some more units on the
You got a college supervisor. Did I see you the other day at the school
Maybe.
when the lady hit the cone and stuff?
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
was trying to help.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was trying to do everything, not just going and go there.
I was just trying to help out.
Yeah. Where's yeah.
It's gone.
Where's all right, so let's have a share. If you're ready, your wallet. Your wallet. Ready? Ready? That's my name. Mr. Rocky, you have a phone? You have a phone? All right, well, you haven't taken it.
I'll feel right here.
Yeah, maybe let's take a look at your shirt. We have the ambulance look at your shirt, make sure you're okay.
As an agitator. All the things, feeling. Okay, give it to me. Give it to me. Self-thing. That's why he wasn't big, he wasn't belligerent. So he wasn't being belligerent. They seemed to have some emotional heart. It was a break.
Yeah, I just told him.
He wasn't a danger. At approximately 10, less than 9, 13, that's it all. That's right. What fires I say? Oh, you want well, so this story, alcohol, living, is it Sunday? Sunday, two. Yeah, but you.
I'm gonna bring the street on it. She able to really a session.
Ian, my son showed up here. 251
Go ahead.
She said they weren't no fun. I thought they were shaking. She said they were shaking. You are.
No.
There you are.
Yeah, that's a topic.
So I hear a comment. Maybe. Oh, yeah, I watched on eating, so, we can deal with that. They won't serve them. Not like they're in ours. Driving that again. Maybe it was 22 miles an hour over 17. Every day we go over. I heard about it. And you don't want to.
Yes. So, one thing is,
How about
I'm used to working. No. This, I was about to make them. Well, you facing like a cat on a hot shit.
In Northport, it's right at the baseball field. That's the house. Sits on top of it.
Yeah. That was like,
I've been throughout the flight. Car. 3 hour drive to the house. Yeah, just
right.
I usually just get lost with it. So I like there are comments right on the cliff. The biggest hole is sometimes where everybody thought I was. But she wanted to go to the rainforest.
Yeah, that's street smart. Yeah.
She wants to go country, drive across the 55 Caribbean on one side, city and they're both totally different. Caribbean side's kind of flat. Pacific side's more long, so you get a long more school. All these school little towns.
Oh, I think it's one of those guys. I was
Really taken out,
Perfect. I didn't.
Where does the director? Man, I was talking to
So it's I think he was 20 miles. Okay, we go right to that. We'll go, first door to your left. This is office. Main thing right there. Was it?
That's right, talking last week.
It's like that. Office to your right.
He's right here. Matt. Matt. He's right here. Thank you. You too. Have a good day, sir. Can I go out this door? Can I go out this door?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
But thanks for your sign, okay? First one's missing with acknowledgements and a picture.
You got it. Okay. Thank you.
Say I want to go to the hospital. Change numbers.
Oh, yeah. That's on my file. I didn't bother you with reading. I was talking. Yeah, that's all I did. That's what it has to be a case. That's been filed.
I'll take care of it.
Appreciate it. Sorry about that again, guys. You're good. Yeah. Well, so. So, Ms. G, do we have a account with them or anything like that? Account with okay.
Oh, yeah, they come here.
Okay, so I'll give you a call.
But let me talk to these guys.
And see what it is. Okay. That's it. What is it? You saw. Yeah. I can see it.
No, so I was coming with, I was still there, I was like,
Yeah. And let's see what they want to do. They want to keep out on the patio or I'm going to sit on the patio. Because I mean, I say they try, yeah, I'm sure they try to sit in there. Yeah. Or sitting out there anyway. See what other times come in.
So I guess you
No, this is just the one.
don't. Not kill. Yeah.
I have no idea. Yeah.
No, not in here. All right,
No.
it is cigarette.
No. Don't be good.
Oh, well, it's past break time.
Yeah.
All this shit's on my bed. Huh? You got all this stuff on my bed. How to get more cozy with it.
How you doing? Mexican grocery store, meat market slash Kira. Get you a bag of the Takis back here. I really don't care what the way they do these. They get you a big bag of Takis, cut it open across the back, sits long ones, and I'll back in some of this beef, cheese, beans.
Sounds pretty good.
Stupid ass nachos, bro. Oh man.
I'd try it.
Dude. Now it's a little pricey. I mean, if you get, but if you get 2 or 3 people over there, me and my oldest daughter, we'll do that. We'll get a big bag of Tostitos, and we'll have them like triple it down on meat, beans, and cheese. By the time it's said and done, it's about $35 a bag. Shit. Oh,
It's good.
dude, man, we'll get the fajita, the barbacoa, the wing buns, and all that. Put that on top.
I like wing butt.
I'll do this. Dude, that stuff's expensive, bro. It's like that. Damn near $20 a pound.
I thought it used to be cheap.
It did. Dude, the tongue and the cheap meat and all that, dude, that stuff used to be cheap, cheap, cheap. I remember, 15 years ago with HEB, get you a pretty good sized package of cheap meat. If they do it right, that's what the barbacoa would make from the cheap. Man, if you get you like a 3-pound pack of cheap meat for $5, $6 now, that shit costs more than a ribeye. But it's worth it. whether it be Thanksgiving or Christmas, that's what we try to do around our house. We'll always do traditional turkey and shit like that.
Y'all switch it up.
Got to, man. I think that's what we did. We had tacos, not talking real tacos,
Yeah.
not that shit.
Real taco.
Real taco.
The tortillas.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
On the drive.
Alright.
In 1 year, we did fried chicken.
Y'all took it yourselves?
Say, let me ask you a question.
Homemade.
Let me take a poll real quick. What's the difference between a blanket and a sheet?
What? A
blanket and a sheet.
Well, a sheet's a sheet, a blanket's a blanket.
Thank you. Why? Tom's gonna tell me that a sheet and a blanket's the same fucking thing.
I don't know.
All right, somebody else hollering? All right. Hollering?
If I was, it would make a difference.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yes, it would. We are dealing with the situation now. So here's the deal. We don't need any more situation. What?
Wouldn't talk about it either. Might either just or we'll hold all.
Yeah.
That ain't bad now. Crying over a blanket and a sheet.
Just think you don't have to listen to it no more.
Yeah. You're out.
Thank you.
I mean, that's kind of how we like to do
We did Italian time for Christmas.
it. Yeah. Hey, 1 year to do that, we had brisket, pork butt, ribs, whole chicken, deer sausage, all smoked meats, man.
Hell
Yeah, all blue. Go black pot full of things on pintos.
One year I smoked a brisket, but it tastes like I did for a couple of years. I did a couple of different things with turkey. I spatchcocked and smoked a turkey. 1 year I deep fried one, and then for Christmas 1 year I did a brisket and smoked a ham. Yeah,
Smoked some brown rib.
oh yeah,
Yeah, big old brown ribs. Those were really, really good.
You guys struggle to drive.
Yeah, somebody put that blanket in the drive. That's right.
That's the worst thing to leave stuff. Is it red?
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I had to out the wash and I said that I was right.
That's what I'm saying. So I think this one.
Guys, let me go. Let's get our group back underway. First off, our group's going to end at the same time it's supposed to end. They're doing some kind of group over there. So I'm going to shut this down.